Dear friends, hello to everyone. Now my trading session is about to begin. The trading session with the team is over. Now I will trade on my own. I will be using our bot. It gives us very good advice. I will explain, describe, and talk in simple terms. These are serious things in trading, but I'll explain them very simply. To start, I'll tell you which pattern or strategy I'll be using. I am trading for those who have just joined. On our chart, we have stops. There are highs at the top and lows at the bottom. We can see them, and if you notice, you can draw a line through each stop. For example, stop 1, stop 23. Here are 3 stops. This one doesn't quite line up, as if it's on a different level, a higher one, but these ones do. Here, on one line at the checkpoint, you see a dashed line, and we have a pattern. The idea is that when the chart touches the level for the first time, there's a pullback, then a second and third touch, and on the fourth touch it breaks through. And this works in most cases, in 90% of cases. There are exceptions, and those exceptions can be due to news. If you see news coming out in less than 15 to 20 minutes, it's better not to trade. But if you already have experience, then in principle you can. Trade amount, I have $100, 3 minutes trade duration. Now we'll look for currency pairs where the level is about to be broken through. It's very important. I didn't mention the most crucial thing. I also checked the bot to see whether I should enter or not. For example, the bot shows an upward signal here, but the future movement of the chart is downward, yet the signal is up. I'll explain all of this in simple terms. The main thing now is to find a currency pair where we can see this pattern, this regularity. And we'll work it out, okay? So look here. The currency pair is British pound to Canadian dollar. We have a level here. I understand that on this currency pair I would enter upward, British pound to Canadian dollar. Now let's ask what the bot thinks about this. If the bot also gives us all the indicators we can use for a breakout, then we'll enter. If the bot doesn't give us that, we'll just skip this currency pair. I'm waiting for the bot's response. Here, it's giving us a picture like a screenshot. I'll quickly take a look at what's here. There's an upward signal here. Look, 3 minutes, $100, upward. For an increase, for a breakout to happen. Let's do an analysis, a breakdown, so you understand how to act in such situations next time. So, we have the first stop, a pullback. Second stop, pullback. Third stop, there's a pullback. I understand that if there's a new approach to the level, a fourth touch, it will be a breakout. Plus, we can take into account what we have here. An ascending trend channel, the minimum has been updated, the chart will go up. I understand that, but I still needed to get confirmation. That's exactly what I did with the bot. I requested the currency pair, and let's look at the indicators the bot shows. 52% up, 48% down. Of course, the majority is up. That means it's a signal to go up. Okay, the future movement of the chart is upward. Only then a correction, and then up again. This is a signal to go up. Okay. Look, this is a narrow histogram, and this is a wide histogram. When the histogram is wide, that's when we have a level. And if, for example, there are first, second, and third touches on a wide histogram, that will definitely be a pullback. But when there's a fourth touch, that's when there will be a breakout. If you have a narrow histogram, that's also a level. Here it is. It's even highlighted. Here it is. And this is a weak level, and if it's weak, the chart, even on the first touch, you see, it didn't even make a pullback from it. Just broke through and moved on to a stronger volume, a stronger histogram. Here, green, red, green, red. I don't consider this a signal. If, for example, let's say there's a staircase of green candles going up, here it is, a staircase upward. This means that the upward movement is coming to an end, there will be a pullback, and here is the chart. Let's look at oversold conditions here. When a crossover happens, it goes up to overbought, then back down to oversold, then up to overbought again, and so on. So in fact, here we also have a signal to go up, making it a total of 4 signals. We have one upward signal that we don't count, and we open this forecast for an upward move for 3 minutes. But right now, in fact, we have about 30 seconds left. Let's see, we are waiting for a breakout. If anyone else is trading using candlestick patterns, here we have a pattern. Here it is, a pin bar, the body, a long shadow. So it's a signal that there will be a breakout, but I don't really trust patterns like this one, especially candlestick ones. I trust volume analysis and chart analysis more. 5 seconds left. Let's see how the trade closes now. It closes in the negative in the last second, which is really frustrating. And we lose $100 with you. And honestly, it's good that this happened, because the same thing could happen to you when you're trading. Plus, the percentage dropped as well. If your percentage is below 70, it's better not to trade. What do I do in such cases? You'll have moments like this too, no matter what. And now I'll show you how to come out ahead over the long run and how to finish a trading session in profit. Take a look. The next currency pair is the Australian dollar and Canadian dollar, AUD/CAD. I'll select the time frame, 1 hour, but I'll use the M1 time frame. Excellent. And now I want to open a trade for a decrease on the breakout of the zone that I will mark based on all the previous stops. Here is this zone. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. I need to quickly check the indicators here to see if they show a decline, a signal down. But as you can see, I'm a bit late. The ideal entry point was right here. I kind of jumped onto a moving train, but there was a strong upward movement here, so I think we'll see what happens. I'll show you now. The volumes are weak and the chart could go much lower. $250. If this trade goes through, we'll net $202, but we'll subtract the $100 from the previous trade that didn't work out, which happened at the very last second. We closed at a loss of $102, so after these two trades, we'll have a net profit. Now let's move on to the bot for the broker. I think it's clear to you why we went down here, because there's a zone, a level, that the chart has tested more than 3 times. Now let's look here at what lies ahead for us, the movement of the chart. It showed a slight upward move, then a drop. After that upward movement, I waited here. Most people were betting on a decline. Okay, second confirmation. Third, a wide histogram, there's a level, test. I'm expecting a breakout. 3 indicators pointing downward. There was only a signal to go down here, but I'm more inclined to skip these indicators. Here, overbought always leads to oversold. When there's a crossover, it goes back into overbought, then back into oversold. And here, since there's no crossover yet, the chart should theoretically keep going down. This is also a signal to go down. There are a lot of signals for a downward move, 4 if I'm not mistaken. That's why we entered for a drop here, expecting a breakout. Fairness in trading. It might be something like this. In your first trade, you predicted one thing, but something completely different happened. But that's normal, it is. If you know that this can happen, you'll be prepared for it next time. The most important rule is simply to switch the currency pair. For example, the chart was moving in a way that suggested a breakout was coming, but then some news comes out, volatility takes over, and the chart reverses direction. Either don't trade, or at the moment the news is released, watch to see how events unfold, or go ahead and trade. But keep this in mind, those with experience don't pay attention to the news. They keep trading, watching the market, but they just keep in mind that they need to have insurance. And to hedge their trade, there are 30 seconds left. Let's keep monitoring. Maybe that's what happened to me too. Everything was going as planned and I did the right thing. The breakout happened, I predicted it, but then there was a correction and after that it went down again. That can happen too, so be careful with this. Don't fall into this mistake. Actually, it's not even a mistake unless you react incorrectly. 3 seconds left and we close the trade in profit. So our profit amounts to $202. We subtract the $100 that didn't go through and we're left with a net profit of $102. I try to send these kinds of breakdowns to you in the group so you can watch them, just in case someone doesn't have the opportunity to watch the full video. I do these breakdowns specifically in the group, so please join our Telegram channel. The link will be in the profile header or in the description of this video. Glad to have everyone here, and then there was a strong movement. I waited a bit longer as it went down. So we ended up with 2 trades and we're in profit. Sometimes it happens just like that. Now you know how I use hedging, how I try to close my trading session in the green to make it profitable, as I've analyzed before. Now I'm looking for a new currency pair. it's better for us to find a currency pair that is also likely to break through a level. Here, a breakout has already started. There's no point in watching further, because in a volatile, news-driven market, currency pairs with breakouts perform very well, just like what happened now. Yes, of course, it doesn't always happen, but it's very rare, especially if you're using a bot, and the bot is free. The link will also be in the description, so please install it and test it out. Practice on demo. Look here, the currency pair, British pound. No, this one doesn't fit our criteria. Now watch this moment. If I have time, I'll enter the trade. Euro to British pound, the currency pair Euro/British pound on the M1 time frame. Take your time, trade carefully. Your trading session will take quite a bit of time. We have a level. This is the level right here. Let's see what we can observe here. We've had one test, two tests, and a third touch. If there's a pullback, we'll open a position downwards, or if the price moves toward this level, we'll open as well. But the move has already happened. So that's my plan for the future. The chart is moving down, and here there's a 75% chance it will go lower. Here we have a staircase pattern going down, which means the downtrend is continuing. This is a signal to go short. You know, this is quite a juicy moment for a downward move, so I'm going to open a trade here. You know what I'm worried about? Because of the strong downward movement, there's a chance that the third touch might break through. But in most cases, that's not what happens. Most of the time, there's a touch, a pullback, and then a breakout. But sometimes, because of a strong approach to the level, there can be a false breakout. And we opened a trade as the price approached the level. But I'll say right away, I opened this trade deliberately and consciously because there might be a correction. After this correction, only after that can the price move down like this, so if the chart doesn't immediately go down, a correction will occur. Here, I will take a new trade for a decline, but I'll be very happy if the chart goes straight down on the third touch. So let's take a look here. Here we have a signal for a downward move. The future movement of the chart is down. Here, as I mentioned earlier, there's a staircase pattern with a red candle with histograms indicating the continuation of the downtrend. Oversold, overbought, the chart is moving into oversold territory. There was a crossover here, so we expect a downward movement. And here we have a wide histogram, but there were tests of this level here. I expect further downward movement. I expect the chart to go down. This minimum here is making me uneasy. Why does it make me uneasy? Because maybe I looked at it wrong for one. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches to the downside, but on the broker's chart, it looks a bit different. It's as if it's not on the same plane. Yeah, it's a little lower. We could set a wide level here, but no. To me, it's just lower. There's another level. And here, really, 3 touches. Here it is, another level even lower. So ideally, we should have waited for a pullback. And only then opened for $100, but I'll repeat, I was created. I opened the trade specifically for a drop, because sometimes it happens that when there's a strong approach to the level, a breakout happens right away. Why exactly should you open here? A pause. There's a pause here, and usually the chart goes to the middle according to the imbalance, and then down. That's the entry point. But while I was chatting with you, I didn't manage to open a trade here in time. Now we'll monitor how this one closes. There are 38 seconds left. If there's another approach to this level, I'll open a new trade. If not, and the chart goes back to the level again, aiming for a breakout, then we'll open lower. No big deal, that is, if it does break through there. Let's keep monitoring, 18 seconds left. And if the trade closes in profit right away, that would be great, excellent. 11 seconds left. If not, I'll take out insurance. I could have waited. It's up to each person. You see, I try not to wait. Well, actually, I do try to wait, yes. If you watch the live streams, you'll see now the movement is going down, and in my opinion, there won't be any more corrections, and there will be a further breakout. I don't have time to close the first trade in profit. $250 for insurance. Let's keep monitoring and watching. Some people wait until they're blue in the face. They wait and wait and wait, and only then do they enter. I try when there are such moments. to enter, and if anything, I'll take a hedge. You see, net profit, this will bring us $200. We'll subtract $200, $100 that didn't go through, and we'll be in profit with you. So let's keep monitoring and wait for a breakout. That's how my trading session turned out. The first trade was a bit tricky, but we used a hedge. The second and third trades, here they are in front of you. Use my trading system, use the bot, it's free. Use my strategy, the trading pattern, it works very well. It's been working for over 5 years and will keep working because most people have been taught that there will always be a pullback from the support level, so they enter long. But unfortunately, that's not the case. The market moves against the majority, and the majority always lose their money. But we think like the minority. There are 47 seconds left, let's keep monitoring. It's possible that there will be another correction and the chart won't go there. There could be a breakout maybe, but I always have a backup plan. At the end of the week, I specifically withdraw funds and leave an amount on the balance so I can use a second safety net. Look, we're seeing another correction, so I'm opening a new trade for a decrease, $625. My last insurance I opened. Let's a company. That is, the breakout that we were waiting for has not yet happened. I wanted to open a new currency pair, also conduct an analysis, review a new insurance take. But I looked again at the bot from my phone. Everything is smooth, everything is clean below. Small volume, there should be a breakout. We accompany. And here is the breakout that we predicted. It happened. Well, as they say, you know. It didn't happen so easily or immediately, but we did everything right, everything correctly. Keep in mind when you trade, there is volatility, there will be breakouts, there will be movements, but there will also be some small delays. I try to show you all the nuances, all the situations that might happen to you, that you might run into when you trade. Be very careful with this, and I'll be very glad if my advice helps you. Take care of yourselves, wishing everyone profits. Good luck to all. Goodbye.